Welcome to Gambling with an Edge with your hosts Bob Dancer and Richard Munchkin. Bob Dancer is America's premier video poker writer and teacher. He's written 10 books, including Video Poker for the Intelligent Beginner and the best-selling $1 Million Video Poker. He helped develop the computer software Video Poker for Winners, and in 2004 he was inducted into the Video Poker Hall of Fame. Richard Munchkin has been a professional advantage player for over 30 years and is in the Blackjack Hall of Fame. His book, Gambling Wizards, Conversations with the World's Greatest Gamblers, is a testament to the many ways you can succeed at gambling. The goal of the show is that you'll be a more knowledgeable gambler tomorrow than you were yesterday. And now, here are Bob and Richard.
Good evening. Welcome to Gambling with an Edge. My name is Bob Dancer.
And I'm Richard Munchkin.
Our guest today is Mark Anduss, who runs the website Mark's Las Vegas. Mark will be talking to us about the differences between the MLife Players Club and that of Total Rewards. In last week's show, we spoke about an email written to gamblingwithanedge@gmail.com from a man who calls himself WRX concerning becoming a professional. Another point that WRX wrote about, and we didn't talk about last week, is the desirability of professional gamblers having an exit strategy. There are some guys who keep on ticking like the ever-ready bunny, but the majority of gamblers find out that after a while, they either go broke or get burned out by the whole experience. What then? Personally, I don't have an exit strategy, although I do have some sidelight careers like writing, teaching, and radio show. That'll keep me going even if video poker becomes unbeatable for me. How about you, Richard? What kind of exit strategy do you have or do you recommend?
You know, I started out in gambling, and my original exit strategy was to build a bankroll and go to Los Angeles and get into the entertainment business. And that's pretty much what I did. I actually quit blackjack the first time 30 years ago and went to LA to get into movies. And as it turned out, gambling was my exit strategy. I actually got out of the entertainment business and back into gambling because, the entertainment business is so uncontrollable, and I needed a reliable income like casino gambling. So for me, gambling was my exit strategy.
And so now you're a little bit past middle age, so you plan to keep gambling forever and ever, amen?
Pretty much, yeah. Because I really enjoy it. I don't play that much, and I'm fortunate that I've been successful at it over the years. So now I can sort of afford to just play the cream. I don't have to go out and grind, and I can wait for the really, really good opportunities. So I'm fortunate in that way.
Very good. All right. We got another email at gamblingwithanedge@gmail.com from a man named Steve who believed that he made the wrong play in bonus poker. He had a suited ace king 10, another 10, and a 5. He held a pair of 10s and promptly drew the suited queen jack, which had given him a royal flush. After the fact, he looked up the right play on the Wizard of Oz website, and sure enough, he had made the wrong play. The right play, by far, was to hold the ace king 10. He wanted to know if I had anything to teach him bonus poker. And yes, I do. I set him up with the Jacks Are Better Winners Guide, the strategy card, and the software. But this isn't about my products. I think he's going about it the wrong way. The air Steve made was a doozy, about 2.4 coins on average. The fact that it might have become a royal this particular time because of the actual cards drawn doesn't change the fact that it's a 2.4 air. Or even if he drew a pair of 10s and had 4 10s, it would still be a 2.4 coin air. This is a really difficult concept for a lot of bottom line kinds of players. They're more concerned about, did I win today, than whether or not I made the right move. Further, the casino that Steve was playing at, South Point, has lots of 9-6 jacks or better, which returns 0.37% more than bonus poker for virtually the same strategy. That's a lot of EV to voluntarily throw away. Someone might consider bonus poker a little bit more exciting than jacks or better, but it's basically the same game and it returns a lot less. You're paying a big premium for a small excitement boost. All right. Do you have anything to say about that, Richard?
No, although I do see the same kind of error in thinking in blackjack, where I actually just yesterday talked to someone who talked about a particular blackjack play, and he said, yeah, it was a really bad play. We lost. And when I actually asked him about the details of the play, it turned out that they had made a lot of really strong EV. And I said, you're thinking about this the wrong way. That was a really successful play. Yes, you lost money, but the EV was there. So yeah, this is a really common error for people to make. All right. It's a hard way of thinking for people to wrap their head around.
And sometimes it's impossible to teach it to spouses. Sometimes they just don't get it. Let's talk to Mark Anduss. Mark is a professional poker player, and he's also writes the website Mark's Las Vegas, which gives people the points of how to gamble successfully in Las Vegas. Mark Anduss, welcome to Gambling with an Edge.
Hello.
Your Mark's Las Vegas website is a little bit tough to find, simply because it has a compound name which includes your name, and it isn't a common name. But Google finds it easily enough with Mark's Las Vegas. In addition to the differences between MLife and Total Rewards, which we'll talk about at length later today, what other kind of information do you find on Mark's Las Vegas?
Well, actually, I'm going to take a moment to tie into what you guys were talking about with exit strategies.
Okay,
One
good.
of the reasons why my site's kind of hard to find is that I spent many years as a theatrical sound designer and video designer, and I still do some video editing. And so I had markanduss.com as my website. Mark's Las Vegas grew out of my interest in Las Vegas. I love coming here. I've been coming here for at least a decade.
Uh-huh.
And I was an active member in a number of forums, and people seemed to like what I had to say. They valued it. So I thought, okay, how can I do more with this? I want to share it. So I started to put together little websites. When I knew groups of friends or people were coming to conventions, I would actually put together little packets, give them information on where they were going, some insight to the players' clubs, even if they weren't gamblers, how to use them. And that eventually grew into Mark's Las Vegas. So it kind of was a side project that grew. So it wasn't intended to be this, but it's, I guess, grown into.
Very good.
But I'm very happy that it has.
So we're going to give you about 12 minutes to talk about the MLife system, and then 12 minutes to talk about Total Rewards. And once you've covered the basics of both systems, we'll start comparing and contrasting them. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. So you're on the clock about MLife. Go.
Okay. Well, MLife covers the MGM Resorts International Properties. That's in Las Vegas. That's the MGM Grand, Mirage, Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, New York, Monte Carlo, Bellagio, Aria, Madeira, the Signature at MGM Grand, the hotel at Mandalay Bay, which is actually about to be renamed, and then outside of Las Vegas, it's Beau Rivage, Gold Strike and Tunica, and MGM Grand Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Even though Circus Circus is an MGM property, it is not part of MLife. It has its own players club, kind of like Bill's did with Total Rewards.
All right.
I didn't know that. Also, isn't there an MGM at Foxwoods or whatever?
Not. They are I think, in the process of that. I'm not sure there is an MGM.
I'm pretty sure there isn't.
Actually,
but they might be building it.
Yeah, and hopefully they're building one at National Harbor just outside Washington, D.C.
Which is close to where you live?
That is. I'm looking forward to that, hoping it happens.
Okay.
People assume it is. So that's the locations that MLife covers. Now onto the nitty-gritty of earning comps. The basic numbers are you earn and track points and upgrade your tier status by they track points. So for $10 of coin in through video poker or $3 of coin in on a slot machine, you get 1 point. And that equates to 1 cent in express comps and 1 cent in points play and 10 tier credits. Now, you don't earn points necessarily for table games, but you do earn comps based on the game you're playing, the average bet, and the duration. For example, betting $25 a hand at blackjack for an hour gets you 550 tier points, and you'll get 4% of your theoretical loss back in the form of express comps and primary comps.
Now, what's the difference between an express comp and a primary comp?
Okay, express comps are points that you can easily use to put towards room charges. You can use them at the lobby stores. You can use them to pay for meals. Basically, you can use them anywhere that the MLife card is accepted. But so for shows, for dining, for rooms, it's an easy way to get your comps. But now the primary comps are something that you have to go through the actual MLife desk or a host to get. They don't show up automatically on as something you can see. Your express comps you can see. You can go online, you can check them out at mlife.com or the kiosks that are in the various MGM casinos.
So if a host is writing you a comp for something for free, it's actually coming out of this extra comp bucket that you can't see.
Typically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so now,
do have a little...
does that only happen once you've used up all of your express comps, or why would you use those as opposed to the express comps?
You'd actually want to use the primary comps first because they are trip-based. So if you're at Aria for a couple days, you're earning your primary comps. You want to use those because those will go away after you check out. The express comps don't expire. I mean, you'll keep adding them until I can save them from trip to trip to trip. But the primary comps don't accumulate that way.
All right. So we're getting you sidetracked. So if you're going to get it in 12 minutes, better get going again.
Okay. So we actually I'll get back to express comps. So you can use your express comps to cover lodging, dining, entertainment costs, and anywhere that actually says express comps accepted here. You should be able to see those little placards around the MLife properties. I tend to use them at the lobby store or a buffet or something like that. And occasionally, if they're left over, I'll put them towards my room when I check out. Points play is basically what it sounds like. It's free play that you're accumulating that you can download into the slot machine. Until when you have your card in the machine, You'll enter your PIN, you'll go to points play, and you'll download the amount of points play that you want into that machine and play it just like regular free play. One of the big things that MGM did when they went to MLife, after being the MGM Players Club, is they added tiers. So the tiers are, for MLife, are Sapphire, that's the basic tier, Pearl, Gold, and Noir. Each of those tiers has higher tier credit requirements, but you also get points or additional perks. Higher tiers have automatic benefits. It's also typical for players at higher tiers to receive comped rooms and free play offers, but those are really based on their rated play and not their tier status. So when you sign up for the MLife card, you're instantly Sapphire, and that really doesn't give you that's how they just track your points, track your play. It doesn't really give you any benefits. They do include pre-sale tickets to some events and discounts on rooms and shows, but that's really based upon your play. That's not part of the perk of having the Sapphire card.
All right, so what do you have to do to get to be Pearl?
So Pearl, you have to have 25,000 tier credits. Now, you can get that 25,000 in tier credits a couple different ways. You can mix and match. Since you get effectively 1 tier credit per dollar in on video poker, that's $25,000 coin in through a video poker machine. It's an easy one-to-one calculation.
All right.
And if you're playing blackjack, that's about 11 hours of $100 a hand blackjack.
Okay.
And they also give you the option. MLife tracks your purchases and expenditures, so that if you're spending a lot on a room, on dining, on shows, you actually get 25 MLife tier points per dollar you spend. So if you spend $1,000, you automatically get the Pearl status.
Okay.
And what Pearl does is it gives you a buffet line pass at all the Las Vegas MGM resorts. It usually gets you in a dedicated
a pass,
check-in.
meaning the front of the line or free?
Front of the line.
Okay.
And it usually gets you express check-in or a dedicated line at when you check into the MGM hotels.
Is this approximately equivalent to Diamond in Total Rewards when we get there?
It is.
Okay.
Well, that aspect. Actually, it's probably closer to Platinum. Which actually will get confusing in just a moment. But yeah, the Pearl I see as being kind of close to the Platinum. And they also have tier multipliers. So once you achieve Pearl status, start to get a 10% bonus on your points and express comps. So at the higher tiers, you start earning your points and comps faster. So the next step up is Gold.
Okay, we got about 4 more minutes to go through the rest of this on MLife.
Okay.
So
I will try to. I think I can do this.
Good.
So Gold takes 75,000 tier credits. So basically, it's 3 times as much as Pearl. So I will let you do the math. Some of the benefits that you get with that are you have an additional tier multiplier. You now get a 20% bonus on points and express comps. You officially get a priority check-in line and early check-in or late checkout. Although, as I mentioned earlier, I've noticed that with Pearl, you basically get the same thing. It's just not officially on there. And you also start to get room upgrades. So if you check in for a room, if something better is available, you can usually get that. The next step up is Platinum. Now, Platinum is a bit close. Somewhere between Gold and Platinum is where the Diamond, like Total Rewards Diamond is.
Okay.
So Platinum requires 200,000 tier credits. Now, with that, you actually get the, give me a second here, you'll get 30% bonus on your points and express comps. You finally get priority valet and taxi service. And then you also get a 15% discount at the participating retail shops. And I actually forgot to mention that's one of the benefits of Gold, too, is you actually get a 10% discount at the lobby store, logo items.
All right. So then the highest one is Nor.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to get that?
For that, it's invitation only, and I actually don't think I have the level requirement in there.
Okay.
But it's a lot of play, and it is ultimately invitation only. But at that point, you get a 40% bonus on your points, express comps, complimentary limo service to and from the airport, and guaranteed rooms, shows, restaurant reservations. And generally at that point, you're also getting a lot of comps just because of your play.
All right, very good. So that's the general outlook on MLife. Now, catch your breath, and we're going to start over again on Total Rewards, which is the Harris system, which is now officially called the Caesar system, but most people still call it Harris. So, what's Total Rewards?
Okay, so Total Rewards is Caesars Entertainment's Players Club, and in Las Vegas, that covers Bally's, Caesars Palace, Flamingo, Harrah's, Paris, Planet Hollywood, the Quad, and Rio. It also covers Bally's, Caesars, Harrah's, and Showboat in Atlantic City, as well as 27 other casinos across the country. And that's one of the differences, too, between these Players Clubs is Total Rewards covers a lot more territory. So if you're looking to travel a lot, that might be a thing to think about. It also uses a point system, and they have, similar to the express comps and the tier points, Total Rewards has reward credits and tier credits. For every $5 in coin in on a slot machine or $10 a coin in on video poker, you get 1 tier credit and 1 reward credit. And the reward credit is 1 penny in comps. It's pretty straightforward. With some games, you may also get bonus reward credits. There isn't really a hard science to that, but as a general rule, if you're playing a game that is bad for the player, you're probably going to get some bonus reward credits as additional comps.
That is definitely correct.
Yeah. You don't get, you get tier and reward credits for table gameplay as well. My experience has been that you get a 1% return on your theoretical loss at Harrah's.
Wow, compared to a 5% at MGM?
4%. Now, what I didn't cover in that 4% is that a lot of that is in your primary comps, which if you don't ask for them, you're not going to get them. So I know that I've had them disappear on occasion because I just didn't pursue it. So if you don't actually investigate what your primary comps are, it's about the same. So make sure that if you're playing MLife, that you go in and make sure that you aren't wasting any primary comps.
All right, so back to Total Rewards. So the basic level is called Gold.
And with Gold, they actually do give you something. You don't even have to gamble a cent, and you can get a discount at a number of the Harrah's or Caesars owned restaurants, even things like the new Gordon Ramsay burger or steakhouse. You actually get a couple dollars off, varying on the menu item, but you get a discount just for having the card. You don't have to gamble. You don't have to do anything. So that's kind of a nice thing, even if you're not gambling. You get a discount at the lobby store, and you also get a 5% discount on Norwegian Cruise Lines, just for signing up for the Gold card.
Right. A lot of Norwegian Cruise Line interaction with Total Rewards. They're owned by the same company. Okay. So the next level up is Platinum.
And Platinum requires 5,000 tier credits. And that gets you a priority buffet line. Sometimes it will give you priority line at the cafes. It'll give you a platinum check-in line at most of the Caesars resorts. It adds 2-for-1 show and entertainment discounts in Las Vegas. You can use those once per month. And a 15% discount at the lobby store and 10% off at Norwegian Cruise Lines. And actually, I wanted to bring this up. They've been changing this around. I know that there used to be Summerfest and Winterfest offers, but I haven't seen that, and I don't know if it's just that it's something I've missed or if they may have gone away. Like tournament offerings, they used to be part of just having a platinum or diamond card.
Don't know. I've been 7 stars for so long. I just haven't paid much attention to what you get for platinum or diamond.
Okay. That would apply to 7 stars, to Summerfest and Winterfest too. Okay, so the next thing up is diamond, and that takes 15,000 tier credits in a calendar year. So you get the priority buffet line, normally a special seating area in the buffets, priority access to the cafes, priority restaurant reservations, the priority taxi and valet service, priority boarding on the Total Rewards shuttles in Las Vegas, a diamond check-in line, and most places in Las Vegas, that's actually a separate room instead of just another counter. You get 2 free show tickets in Las Vegas each month, and that includes things like Penn and Teller, Jubilee. You get Diamond Lounge access, which is a great place to just take a break and get a drink. They have some food. It's a good place to get off the gaming floor for a while.
Minimal food. Used to have nicer food.
Yeah, I remember when they had breakfast. That was my favorite
Everything used to be nicer
thing.
at Harrah's.
Yeah.
What did you say, Richard?
I said everything used to be nicer at Harrah's properties. It's really gone downhill over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I include Diamond Lounge access in there, but I really don't consider that to be nearly as useful as it was 3 years ago.
Okay.
You get upgraded rooms, 20% discounts at the casino shops, and 20% discount on Norwegian Cruise Lines. And one of the things Total Rewards has done in the, actually this year, just a few months ago, is they started adding some kind of sub-levels within Diamond. So they've got a Diamond Aspiration level where when you earn 15,000 tier points, which is what you need to get to Diamond, they'll give you a $100 celebratory dinner cup. and that's just part of reaching 15,000 tiers. They've got a level 2 when you get 40,000 tier credits, which is a 4-night stay at any Caesar's own property. Although I've noticed that if you're playing that much, you probably get things like that anyway.
Yes, you do.
And then when you hit 80,000 tier, they have level 3, which is an annual retreat, which includes a $750 airfare credit. You get a companion card so that your guests can get some of the perks of diamond status without you having to be there. And you can actually confirm some room upgrades.
Okay, good. Now, the higher level is 7 stars.
Yes, 7 stars is basically on par with the MLife Noir, and it gives you everything that Diamond did, and then it also gives you a 7-star check-in area. Another
Usually
7-star
7-star
lounge.
check-in is the same area as the Diamond check-in. It's
True.
just that if there's a Diamond person and a 7-star person both there, the 7-star person gets to go first.
Of course.
But it's the same room.
Yeah. You get access to the 7-star lounge at a couple properties. Congratulatory voyage on Norwegian cruise lines. More discounts, 25% discount at the gift shop, 30% discount on Norwegian cruise lines, and a $500 celebration dinner.
Okay. Can I ask, do these things go by calendar year? So you have to reestablish every year, and is it January 1st?
The way that the two clubs work differently, they are on a year basis, but Total Rewards, the earning period is truly the calendar year, so January 1st through December 31st. Now, the status that you achieve changes on March 31st. You'll actually have a little overlap between the earning period and when your status changes. So if today I were to get diamond status, that would be good throughout this year. It would actually be good through all of next year, and it would be good through the end of March the following year. Because when you earn it, you're actually earning your status for the following year, although it's effective from the moment you earn it.
So approximately 21 months of...
If you play it right, yeah.
So if you get to the end of March of 2014, your new status will be based on your play for all of the year of 2013?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Now, the way that...
And is that the same in MLife, or how does it work with MLife?
No, MLife is a little bit different. They actually go October 1st through September 30th. But it's the same concept where you are earning your status for the next year. So what you earn between now and October 1st will give you that status from the moment you earn it, plus the next year up till October 1st of that year.
Now, is it administered the same everywhere? Like, for example, Total Rewards here in Las Vegas versus Total Rewards in Atlantic City. There are a lot of Total Rewards properties in Atlantic City. Do they do things the same, other than talk funny back there? Or do they do things differently?
I mean, the general, they're very similar. I mean, it is one program, but typically I find that room comps are much harder to get in Atlantic City. Just rooms in general tend to be more expensive, so working comps there is a little different. But the way you accumulate points is the same. The way you redeem points is the same. If you're a low-level Diamond player, to get access to the Diamond Lounges in Atlantic City, it'll actually cost you $10 in comps. So that's not something that they do in Las Vegas.
You mentioned with MGM, a blackjack player who plays 1 hour at $25 got 550 points, I think you said?
550 tier points, yeah.
Tier points.
Yeah, that's for
Do you know how many express comps they get for that?
It's it's basically 1%. So it's about 55 cents or 55 express comps.
Okay, and is there a place where they will tell you what that would be for every game, for roulette, for 3-card poker, for every carnival game? Is there a way to find out how much they're giving you?
That's basically a trade secret, but what I've actually been pretty upfront, and I'll ask a pit boss, what he's got me tracked at and what I'm earning, and sometimes they'll actually show me their little spreadsheet so I can see what I'm getting. But there isn't a brochure, and I haven't tracked all those games. So there isn't a single place to go, but, just ask. A lot of times they're helpful.
If you get you're saying you get 55 express comps for 1 hour, $25 blackjack at MLife.
Yeah, not a lot.
How much would you get at Total Rewards?
44 cents on my experience. Yeah, you're not getting a lot. I mean, the players' clubs do not like table games players. And that's pretty, certainly not blackjack.
Uh-huh. Now, what about this being tripped? I'm making air quotes. You can't see that. But triggering a trip, this seems to be a big deal. So could you explain that?
Yeah, well, the concept is that since your offers are based on your average daily theoretical loss, that's based on a day or a trip. Doing air quotes myself now. The idea is that if you get tripped and you don't play, or you play very little, it will hurt your average daily theoretical. So your offers will be reduced. So, it has been my experience that if I play very little, my offers do go down. So these days, if I'm going to play somewhere and have it tracked, I make sure that I play enough to make it worthwhile.
Sometimes, going to a Diamond Lounge, if you're not going to play that day, is an expensive process. If you're
because it triggers a trip, just for going in the Diamond Lounge.
Diamond Lounge triggers a trip. Apparently, using your card at the gift shop, for example, using your points, or at a restaurant, does not do a trip. At some places, if you are in the casino, if you're in a hotel room there for 3 days, it assumes it's a 3-day trip. At some casinos, if you actually do all your play during 1 day, it's only considered a 1-day trip. So casinos differ on that.
Correct.
And it's the casino day, not the calendar day. At some casinos in Las Vegas, it's 6 a.m. And so there are times where you might get offers on, for example, you can pick up $300 on Tuesday and $300 on Wednesday. But if you do the Wednesday pickup after midnight, but before 6 a.m., it assumes that you did everything on the Tuesday days, so that was you got 2 days worth of free play pickup, but you only were there 1 day officially.
Well, that's a good way to do that.
It works at some places and not others, and it varies, and it changes.
Yeah, and I mean, as a general rule, if your card is swiped, you're probably being tripped. That's a good rule to go by.
Well,
And does this also apply at the MLife places?
Yes.
Now, do you know anything about quick losses? So you go in and say you lose $10,000, in a couple of hours. Are you familiar with any of this?
Well, I know that hosts have a bit of leeway in giving you comps. You're not going to get anything automatically, but when they look at your losses, they can actually do a percentage of your loss.
In cash?
If you play big enough, I've seen that happen, but normally it would be in comps, or
it can be in cash.
Yeah,
it can be in cash. It's officially called airfare or something like that. But even though the host knows your car's in the garage, he can write up something for airfare, and they can cash it at the booth. If you have the care and feeding of a host is an important subject for some other radio show, but it works.
And I do find, personally, I've had better luck with hosts at MLife than Caesars, but that's also partially because I play bigger at MLife, so it makes more sense, even though I'm a diamond at Total Rewards.
Now, Mark, you're also a poker player. How are comps for poker players?
They are minimal. You can normally get it'll vary, but you can get a couple of dollars an hour in comps playing poker. It's not a lot, but it does help you get either poker room rates or discounted rooms, but the casinos don't make enough money off of poker still, so that they're not going to offer a lot for you.
Uh-huh.
At some casinos, if you tip the guy at $10, he'll give you a free buffet comp. So that's kind of the way it works at many rooms. Now, video poker players, it's not the slot club system per se, it's the combination of the games plus the slot club plus the mailers and all that kind of thing. So if you are, let's say, quarter players shouldn't be playing in these casinos. Quarter players are treated poorly at both these. You should try local casinos, which we'll talk about some other night. But let's say you're a dollar video poker player. Which of the systems in Vegas or Atlantic City would offer the better deal?
Well, that kind of depends upon what you really want to get out of it. If you're only looking to do, say, $25,000 in coin in a year, that's just enough to get you the MLife Pearl status. But that won't get you out of gold for Total Rewards.
Okay.
And you're also if you're not playing enough, then that alone isn't going to give you enough comps to do a whole lot. So you'll be earning comps, and I guess Total Rewards is probably how I would go there, simply because of the automatic discounts that they give you simply for having a card.
Very good. And if you're playing 100,000 coin in a year, which system would be better, or 1 million coin in a year?
Well, actually, the number that they're kind of close, but I would really go with Total Rewards And the reason is that you can use your points a lot more places. I mean, the actual earning isn't going to be that different. I mean, your actual comps and free play will be a little bit higher with MLife, but if you're looking to travel more, if you just experience some of the other things in Las Vegas, I mean that's with a $100,000 amount, you should actually be able to get diamond status if you play your cards right. Actually, you can easily get diamond status.
All right, this is very interesting. We're going to have to let you go, Mark. I'm sure that we're going to have some emails from our listeners who have...
Boy, we could easily talk for another hour about this stuff. So,
I haven't covered half of the stuff.
Well, we may find a time to do this. So we don't change your phone number, or if you do, let me know what it is.
Okay.
This is Mark Anduss from Mark's Las Vegas. Go through Google. The whole name is complicated.
Yeah, actually, I was very happy when I noticed that doing a Google search pops me up there. So Mark's Las Vegas.
All right. So, very good. Did you learn anything tonight, Richard?
Because, I really haven't been, I've been playing as a refusal for so many years that I really don't know about this stuff. And I actually, in preparation for moving back to Las Vegas, I plan to start getting back into this, and trying to exploit these systems. So I actually learned quite a bit.
How can you refuse 55 cents an hour in comps? I mean, that adds up.
Right.
All right. So the South Point has more than 10,000 video poker games, returning more than 99%. That's more than anyone else. From June 1st through the end of the month, you may earn Chevron gas cards at half price. Normally $83.34. Points earns you $25 in cash or free play. For the points earned and redeemed in June, you get a $50 gas card for the same amount of points. This is, in essence, double points for the first $83,000 coin in that you make during the month. For most players, that's more than they're going to play anyway, so it's double points all month long. They haven't announced it as of yet. Frequently on Father's Day is a double point day at the South Point. It's going to be your base points. You'll have some points left over because they're going to double the points, but it won't affect how much coin in you actually need to play to get the gas cards. But as always, playing on double point days is a better financial deal than just playing on single point days. At the Palms, they have drawings Friday and Saturday evenings for the 127,000 Slots of Steel drawing tournament. There are going to be winners every Friday and Saturday night in June, and all the winners come back for the big finale slot tournament on June 30th, where you can win up to $52,000 in free slot play. So the play on Friday and Saturday evenings from 8 p.m. to midnight earns 5 times drawing tickets. The PEW Play, Earn, and Win gifts for the first half of the month have a theme of steamless. There's flatware you can earn. There's coolers. There's a paper towel holder, bunches of stuff. The gifts for the second half of the month have a booze cruise, so you can get liquid refreshments of various sorts. Your points may be redeemed over multiple days in the same week, and you keep your points even when you get these prizes. On 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sundays, they have a video poker and slot machine bingo game. This is similar to the way they had it several months ago, but it is a little bit different. May surprise some people, but I find if I'm playing for the drawings, penny slots are the way to go. And although there are some key numbers I look for, which I'm not announcing on the air, and the bingo card, when they did it several months ago, it paid you $50 for completing it. Now it pays you $100 to complete it. So for penny slot players, this is a good deal. Although don't tell anybody that I actually play penny slots. I've been seen, and the word is out. So for video poker, it is limited up to 5 play. And so the best game probably percentage-wise is quarter 5 play, 9-6 jacks or better. The cards add about 1.5% in addition to the 0.25 slot club. So this is a game that is quite lucrative and much better than full pay deuces with no benefits. And it's hard to get one of the machines. At videopoker.com, you can now play Hyper Poker, a game similar to Super Times Pay, except you get the multipliers on hands where you're dealt a winning hand to start with. If you're a gold member on the site, you can practice it for free. In addition to being able to play free games on the site, the website offers a forum where people discuss ideas relating to video poker. I do participate in that forum. Our guest next week is going to be BJ Traveler. BJ Traveler is a Chinese man who roams the world playing advantage, blackjack, and certain other table games. They have lots of interesting stories to tell. Munch, how well do you know BJ Traveler?
Well, I've known him for about 10 years. I did a print interview with him that you can read on my site, richardmunchkin.com. He's a really, really interesting guy. I should warn our listeners, he's a little bit difficult to understand because his accent is still very thick. But for blackjack players, he really, I think, will widen your horizons and realize that the best blackjack games are not in the United States, and that there are many approaches to beating the game. I just want to correct you, Bob. He's not next week. I believe he's on 4th of July. Next week we're going to have Bill Zender. Bill Zender's a casino, has worked all sides of the table and was a gaming enforcement official. 2 books that our listeners would be particularly interested in are Card Counting for the Casino Executive and Advantage Play for the Casino Executive. 2 books that every Advantage player should read.
For reverse engineering on if you know how the other side thinks, it helps you adjust to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good. All right. So we thank our guest, Mark Anduss. Hope all of you go out and hit lots of royal flushes this week. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to Gambling with an Edge with your hosts, Bob Dancer and Richard Munchkin. Subscribe to the show in iTunes, and episodes will be delivered to you automatically every week. Archived versions of past shows may be found at bobdancer.com and richardmunchkin.com. We welcome emails at gamblingwithanedge@gmail.com. Bob Dancer and Richard Munchkin are both available on Facebook and welcome your questions. The sponsors for the show are the South Point Hotel, Casino and Spa, the M Resort, the Palms Casino Resort, and the website videopoker.com. Join us again next week for another Gambling with an Edge.